It's all good. It's all good, my babies. My first guest is a writer, director, and Academy Award-nominated actor who you know from films like A Bronx Tale and The Usual Suspects. He's now making his big screen directorial debut with the new holiday movie, Noel. Please welcome Chazz Palminteri. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
The best first name in the business.
He always says that.
I know, but I'm obsessed. You and Sting have great names. You could be a one-name celebrity if you wanted to. I mean, I love Palminteri, but you could lose it and just be Chazz.
There's Chazz.
And then there's Sting and Cher.
Cher, Madonna.
Yeah. Madonna, right. You could be one of those if you want.
You could actually say "the" in front of my name, like
the Chazz.
The Chazz.
Yeah. Well, that means you're going insane when you start. Call me the Chazz. Yeah, you can come with me. I'm going there fast. You know, you've had so much success, but I have to wonder, did it make it harder for you that you were from the Bronx? You know, accent. You know, you're clearly from a particular region. Did that make it harder?
Yes, I'm from Belmont Avenue in the Bronx, New York, and I was, well, maybe when I was starting out. In fact, when I was starting out, there was a part that, you know, when you're a young actor, you're 20, I was like 23 years old. There was a part in a movie that my agent said, he said, "Your name is Kentuck." This is the part. I go, "Kentuck? Why is it Kentuck?" And they said, "Well, he's from Kentucky, so they call him Kentuck." I said, "I'm from the Bronx." I said, I don't sound like I'm from Kentucky. He says, "Don't worry about it. You'll be great." It was one line. I'll never forget it. And the line was, it was one line in the movie. My line was this. I come busting through a bar, and I go, "Get the picks and shovels. We got to dig it up. There's gold in them there hills." That was my line. That was my line.
First of all, I have to say, this sounds like a terrible script.
I was looking to get my SAG card.
Sure, yeah. You don't care. You want to work.
So I said, "I'll do it." So the casting director said, "Well, why don't you do it for me?" So I said, "Get the picks and shovels. There's gold in them there hills." She goes, "Good, but bigger, bigger, bigger." I said, "Okay." Get the picks. I mean, I'm bad. I was terrible.
Right.
I go,
did you try and get the accent? Was it?
I tried, but it was the only South was the South Bronx, not south of Kentucky.
Yeah.
So I'm going, "There's gold in them there hills." And finally, she says, "Perfect, but you could be a little bigger. I want you to meet the director," right? So I walk in, I meet the director. They open the door. There's a little guy sitting there, a bald-headed guy with a cigar in his mouth. He goes, "Go ahead, kid," right? So I get all ready, right? I go out the door like I really want to make an entrance. I come in the door and I go, "Get the picks and shovels. There's gold in them there hills." I mean, I'm blowing the paint off the wall, right?
Right.
He looks at me with a straight face. He's got the cigar in his mouth and he goes, "Schmuck, you found gold. You want the whole world to know it." Just like that. True story.
Get out of here.
And he goes, next,
and you're done.
I was done. I was toast after that.
Did you, now, you've always been pretty candid. You've stayed about where you're from. It was a rough neighborhood. You probably knew some unsavory characters growing up. A lot of unsavory characters. Did any of them ever try and pull you into a life of crime?
Well, you had to be really careful with my friends because to them, things were not bad to them. Like one time, a buddy of mine said, "Listen, I've got to go buy a pair of running shoes. Would you give me a lift?" I said, "Sure," you know. I was like, I was in my late 20s. I said, "Sure, I'll give you a lift." I take him up to this store up on Fordham Road in the Bronx, right? So he goes, "Just wait outside. Wait for me." I said, "I want to buy a pair of shoes, too." He goes, No. Wait outside. Just keep the motor running. Wait outside." I'm like, all right. So he went inside, and I'm waiting. And all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, the door swings open. He comes running out. But the way he was running, I got confused because he was running like this. Right? And he couldn't run. So I looked down, and I see he's got these white sneakers on, and they were still tied.
Right.
He robbed these sneakers. And right behind him was a guy, like, following him. He dives into my car, shuts the door, two guys chasing them, start banging on the thing. I said, "What the?" I peel out. I'm like a wheelman in a sneaker robbery.
Yeah. How many sneaker robbers have a getaway car? That's what I love. I'm going to go steal a gumball. You keep the engine running.
And I said, "Why'd you do it?" He goes, "It was so easy, I had to do it."
Right.
That was his logic. It was so easy, I had to steal them.
Right.
He left his shoes there and put them on. I said, "Well, next time, could you untie him so you could run?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But just also, it just seems like bad etiquette, bad criminal etiquette to make someone your getaway driver and not tell them that you're going to do it. Yeah.
Well, he knew me. He knew if he told me, I wouldn't have done it. You know? But he jumped in the car, so I laughed. We talk about it today, and we still laugh.
Does he still have the sneakers?
No, he's in jail now.
Oh, good. So when you talk to him, there's a glass wall between you. That's a terrific story. Well, my time's up. We got to go now. Bye. You were also, is this right? You were a singer in a rock band.
I was a singer in a band, yes, a top 40 band. First, it was a rock band called The Human Sacrifice.
Right.
That's in the early 70s. I had really long hair. I traveled all over. And then I got to a top 40 band. It was called Chazz.
Chazz.
That's
I love that.
Isn't it?
Chazz. How long did it? Were you trying to think of a band's name that had Chazz in it, and that's how you got to?
Yes.
How long were you? I'm just thinking.
It was the name Chazz. I wanted that. It was Chazz. We thought. Then we said Chazz, and you know, people liked it. I don't know.
I bet you were a whole day going the Chazz-tastics.
You know, that was one name.
The Chazz combo. The
Chazzmen.
The Chazzmen. Right. Right.
Yeah,
you could have a good time.
But we had Chazz, and that I worked. It was fun. I had a lot of fun.
It was fun.
It
Yeah,
was fun.
Times are better now.
Times are better now.
You have this new movie, which, and I want to ask you about this because I guess there's an unusual new thing that they're doing now with some films, and you're doing this.
Right.
It's an unusual way to release a movie.
True.
This movie, Noel. Tell us what's happening. It involves a new technology.
Well, it opens up today, in fact, November 12th. It opens up today here in the city, and it opens up, I think, 5 cities, and then we're going to platform it. But also, Jeff Arnold, who is the head of the Convict Group, who's distributing it, has this brilliant idea that they could do these disposable DVDs, like a flex play, where you get it and it's only good for 48 hours. You could watch the movie, then it self-destructs. It self-destructs.
I heard about this and I thought, this sounds disturbing to me. Like, here's this movie, you can watch it now, but it's going to, does it explode? Does it melt?
No, it just turns black.
Okay, so when I first heard this, I thought it destroys your DVD player or something.
No, it doesn't. It just turns black. You know, after a while, that'll come out, and then people can buy it, and then see the movie, and then just give it to a friend to watch. It like generates word of mouth with these low-budget movies, where people, you know, generate word of mouth where people go see the film.
Right. It's an interesting technology.
It's a very interesting technology.
It's like they should put out. It's like they could do that with books, like put them out printed on some kind of meat that goes bad.
Exactly.
Like you have 2 days to read this book, and then it's going to stink up the whole house.
Up the whole house.
That's just the way I think. We have a clip here from Noel, and this is, I've watched this clip several times.
Yes,
it's a great
I'm sure
clip.
you did.
Tell us, set this movie up for us and so we can appreciate this clip.
Oh, the whole story is about these 5 lives that intertwine with each other. The clip is this couple, Penelope Cruz and Paul Walker. She's always trying to you know, get him into bed because she's this incredible woman who loves, you know, she loves him very much and she loves life, and he's a cop and he's got to get to work, and she's saying no, you got to stay here, and he's saying no honey, I got to go. So she gets up and she does a dance for him.
Let's take a look at this clip from Noel. Hang on to that woman if you're in that relationship.
Yeah.
Don't let her go.
Oh. I mean, she's an incredible actress, incredibly beautiful. And Paul Walker is just a terrific actor.
You're watching Paul Walker, though, and you're like, what is your problem? I really got to get there on time, or the good donuts are gone. How many takes did you request of that scene?
She got it in the first take, but I did about 10 takes. I was just sitting there going, Paul, Penelope, we got to do it again.
Action. There's gold in them there hills. Well, Noel is now playing in select theaters. It's going to be available next Wednesday on a Flex Play DVD, which will explode soon after. So watch it quickly. You know what? I love having you on the show. Thank you for doing it. Chazz, Palminteri, Marcia Cross from Desperate Housewives. We'll be right back.